7,100 tons of tires sitting in Richland for years. It's a daunting assignment to clean up and expensive, but according to Tri-City Herald, the removal of this massive eyesore could begin soon. To dig more into the story, we're joined by Wendy Culverwell of the Herald Now. Thank you for being here, Wendy.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and to start, where are all these tires coming from?
They were tires that were sent for recycling up in between about 2000 and 2007. People paid fees to recycle tires when they bought new cars or vehicles, and those shops and businesses sent them along to this recycling center. So,
well, I think the big question is, why haven't they been removed earlier?
Well, to start with, this is a well-intentioned business. It started in 2000 to recycle tires. Don't want to lose sight of the fact that this was a big deal. It had a lot of support. The governor was supposed to come for the groundbreaking or the ribbon cutting in 2001. The idea was that you would take these tires, you would bale them, compress them into blocks and use them as sort of building materials for shooting ranges, for dairy waste, for any place where you wouldn't mind having tires as sort of a building structure. The model didn't work. There were a lot of detours along the way. But this is a legacy of a private business that went out of business in 2007. So individuals who were politically connected, there's a lot of side stories with this story. But since 2007, they have been piled up. It's a really curious vision. They were piled up in kind of a big square around this property in Richland. It looks a bit like a giant tire fort.
Wow.
And I think there's been a lot of finger pointing over the years, and the state doesn't have a huge budget for dealing with tires. But it sort of roared into view when the city of Richland decided to sort of take the lead and start initiating the legal process to get it declared a nuisance and to get a court order allowing it to go step in and start to abate this nuisance, which is no secret to anybody. Tires are a big environmental and human health hazard.
Well, exactly. And I think the big question here is, what do people in the Tri-Cities think of this massive tire pile? I mean, this is their community. It's gone on for years. What are they saying?
Well, it's at the entrance to the landfill, so it's private property that's near the Richland City landfill. So I don't think they expect the landscape to be pretty there, and I think maybe they've gotten used to it over the years. And I have an editor who asked me for a very long time to figure it out, and it took me a long time to understand what was happening before I could write about it. So it was a confusing mess, and nobody really understood how it happened or who was responsible and what the next steps were. But we have a really remarkable city attorney in Richland who has sort of taken the bull by the horns and is making all this happen.
Well, in your recent story, you write that the city of Richland is close to an agreement to clean things up. How long could that agreement take to finalize, and how long could removing all of those tires we just saw here take?
Well, it's a complicated situation. This is private property, and we live in a universe or in a country where private property rights are very important. And so that meant Richland went to court and got it declared a nuisance and got a court order allowing it to abate the nuisance. That's the legal process, Fourth Amendment search and seizure rules. But the problem was they could have the court order, but they didn't have the money to do this. It started as a $1 million project, and that's just simply too much for a city with a population of 65,000 people to absorb. And so that's when we started turning to the legislature. We have some new tire fees in Washington and say, hey, this is far and away the largest collection of discarded tires in the state of Washington. Maybe if you've just started levying a $5 tire disposal fee, Washington State, you can start paying to help deal with this. And so this past session, the legislature awarded $3.2 million to go deal with this. So there's it's government, so there's a process. So the city is working out a deal with the Department of Ecology. The city will take the lead on this, and they'll get refunded by Department of Ecology. But in the meantime, you have court involvement. So the city has said they will get court approval for whatever they do. So they've already got the order to abate, but
Okay.
there's just a whole process. So they need to get that agreement with ecology. They need to find a contractor that knows how to go in and do this. We don't quite know what that's going to look like. My guess is they'll be shredded and sent to a landfill. It's a process, but it has to be done safely.
It sounds like it's still a process. And on that note, we're going to just keep an eye on this, and we'll probably be talking to you again, Wendy. So thank you for your time.
Thank you for letting me share. Take care.